The biggest problem with her signature set, in my eyes, is a mix of three things. One, anyone who started playing either before Fontaine or in Fontaine probably already has some really good Marechaussee pieces. Is Skirk and Nevelet teams an upgrade? From what I've looked at so far, she seems like a minor upgrade to Sitlali, yeah. But the rotations are going to be more dank. How much worse is Kirk's Sig set compared to Marechaussee? I have a really good finale of the deep set all ready for her, but I still farm Marechaussee. I mean, it's obviously going to depend on a few factors. Just like at a baseline, right? If you're looking at the amount of crit value you'll get, your crit multiplier, not your China, your crit multiplier, and your damage percent. So, Skirk base stat 98.4 because she has 88.4 crit damage and 5% crit rate. That's 10% CV from crit rate, so 98.4 base CV. 62.2 from your circlet. We're gonna, for now, look at 20 substat rolls on crit. Depending on the team, you might have cryo resonance, even against bosses. You might have low uptime or high uptime on it. For now, let's assume that you do have cryo resonance and it's full uptime. Let's say you're fighting a freezable enemy, and you're not using a crit weapon. You'll end up with about 320 CV, which is, what, 8160? More or less. Your stat sheet will say 65-160. Damage percent, if you go Cryo Goblet, wait, is it 70 or 75? I forgot. It's 75, right? Yeah. So you got Goblet, you got set bonus, you got what else you got? I mean, I know a lot of people are gonna run Shenhe for some reason, so maybe we look at it with Shenhe. And then for Rina, something like this maybe. We could even look at a relatively favorable situation for her Sig set, assuming you go Attack Goblet. Because there are some teams where Attack Goblet is going to be competitive, and sometimes even better. Anyways. So, at a baseline, it's what, 72? And this is 15. Right, it's about as good. With Attack Goblet, when Shenhe, with Cryo Goblet, it's pretty noticeably better. But not to the point where if you have a good Sig set, you need to get Marechaussee. This is still not that far behind, right? It's not terrible. A 3.5, 3.6% diff. This is like 2 substats. Oops. This is like 2 substats. Right, you said you have a 240 CV set for her. Right, that's... Are you talking about 240 from subs or 240 including circlet? So if you got a Marechaussee with the exact same stat distribute, or not, yeah, with the exact same total, like, values, but still an optimal crit ratio, it would only be 2% better at a baseline here, right? It could go higher or lower depending on a bunch of different factors, though. The biggest problem with her signature set, in my eyes, is a mix of three things. One, anyone who started playing either before Fontaine or in Fontaine probably already has some really good Marechaussee pieces. Because Marechaussee was useful on so many characters that were released since Fontaine that most people farmed them a lot. Right, that's number one. Number two, a bunch of Skirk's constellations improve Marechaussee, or increase the gap, mainly because Skirk's C1 does not get buffed by her set bonus, but it does get buffed by Marechaussee. Right? Her signature set buffs normal or burst damage. It doesn't buff charge attack damage. And I don't think they're going to change it, because if they make it normal attack damage, it'll disable the set bonus buff in the burst playstyle. And if they make it burst damage, it'll disable the set bonus buff in the normal attack playstyle. So they have to make it something that's neither of the two. And that's the second factor, it's C1. And the third factor is your first rotation stuff, right? In the first rotation, because she spawns in with full Serpent Subtlety, you get to burst and do a normal attack combo. But if you do that, you have literally 0 damage bonus for the first 6 seconds of your skill uptime, because your burst disabled your set for your skill. With Marechaussee, you're at least gonna get like 2 stacks of the crit on the burst. And if you wait a tiny little bit, you'll get 3. So all you're really missing out on is the 15 damage per se, but that's a minor part of it. And so, on that first rotation, Marechaussee is noticeably stronger than her Sig set. You kind of tie Skirk to Farina with Marechaussee. You do, but she's kind of tied to Farina even without Marechaussee, so yeah. What's the point of her new set? Well, if you do burst quick swap teams with Skirk, her new set is best in slot. And so, if you want a set that'll be good no matter what playstyle you do on Skirk and no matter what team you play, the Sig set works. But I guess that C1 Sig set might not be the best, even on quick swap. Because C1 does add 1500 non-burst motion value, huh? I don't think anyone should farm DPC, but if you have a really good DPC because you're a Wanderer main, it's not worth getting Skirk's Sig set. DPC is more than good enough. But I think outside of that, you shouldn't use DPC. It's only for people that already have a strong DPC. Does Shiminawa work? No. It doesn't activate unless the character has energy. Just like it doesn't activate on Maoika. C1 or R1 on Skirk, which is better? It kind of depends. But they're generally very, very similar. So, and they're close enough that honestly, I would make the decision based off of how good her banners are. What the 4 stars on her banner are, and what the... I mean, who do we know who she's running with? Like, we know which 5 stars are coming next patch, but do we know which one is gonna run at the same time as Skirk? God, I hope it's not Emily. Oh, that's cooked, man. Why? Because Luminous Bell is worthless on anyone other than her. Which means that if you want to get Skirk's Sig, but you don't have Emily, Luminous Bell is a really bad one. Whereas both Calamity Queller and Thousand Blazing Suns are like pretty decent off like second weapons on a banner. Calamity Queller, in my opinion, got a lot better because of Escoffier. Like, even if you don't have Shenhe, because if Shenhe were to run with Skirk, and you wanted to get her Skirk Sig, because Skirk is so reliant on Escoffier, and because Calamity Queller is a pretty good weapon for Escoffier, if you lose a 50-50, you're still left with a weapon that's probably an upgrade in your teams. Oh, is it not Luminous Bell? Shit, my bad, man. Luminous Elegy. Sorry. I guess, at least, it's not an awful weapon on Pyro Polearm users in Burning teams. But Burning teams aren't real without Emily, and you'd rather just run this on Emily at that point. But nah, yeah, no. This is just such a fucking dogshit weapon on anyone other than Emily. And then it's like a fucking 50% upgrade to Emily. Man, the character is cooked. Does Emily actually do good damage with Elegy? The main thing with Elegy is that it completely trivializes Emily's ER requirements. On top of being a really, really good stat stick. You get to actually burst every rotation reliably with this, even without having to build ER.